Before you step into that recruiter's office, before you raise your right hand to swear the oath, before you sign the contract that binds years of your life to military service, you need to watch this. Because once you sign, there is no turning back. This isn't a retail job you can quit or a college course you can drop mid-semester. You're signing away control over your life to serve the interests of the United States of America. That is honorable, but it comes at a cost. Today, I'm going to tell you what recruiters rarely tell you in full. You will hear from real veterans who lived it, the good, the bad, and the traumatic, from basic training to combat, deployments to transition out, because you deserve to know what you're truly signing up for. 1. The reality of basic training. Let's begin with day 0. Basic training is designed to do one thing: strip away your civilian identity and rebuild you as a soldier, sailor, airman, marine, or guardian. You'll be screamed at from the moment you arrive. Your hair gets shaved. Your phone is taken away. You are no longer John from Texas or Ashley from California. You are recruit or trainee. Here's what David, a former Army infantryman, said about his first day. They made us hold our duffel bags over our heads for what felt like an hour while they yelled at everyone. A guy next to me dropped his bag, and they made him low crawl across the asphalt until his elbows bled. That's when I realized this is no game. You will wake up at 0430. You will run, march, lift, and sweat before most civilians are even out of bed. Drill sergeants or instructors will correct you aggressively for the smallest mistakes. Uniform not perfect, boots unshined, bunk not tight. But it's not just physical. Mental games are constant. Sleep deprivation, intimidation, team punishments if one person fails. The purpose? To forge instant obedience to orders and build unit cohesion under stress. If you cannot handle authoritative environments, rigid hierarchy, or mental pressure, this path is not for you. 2. You lose control over your life. When you enlist, you surrender control over your daily life. Every hour is scheduled. Wake up, PT, chow, formation, work, chow, work, final formation, sleep, repeat. Weekends off? Maybe. Holidays? Depends on the mission. When my grandfather died, said Lance Corporal Rivera, USMC, I had to beg my staff sergeant to let me go home for the funeral. It wasn't guaranteed. It depended on if we had field training that week. You cannot call in sick casually. You can't skip formation because you're tired. Even after work hours, your chain of command can recall you anytime. You belong to the military, not yourself. 3. Deployments in combat reality. Depending on your MOS and branch, deployment is part of your life. For some, it's a peaceful rotation in Europe or Japan. For others, it's combat in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, or undisclosed African operations. Staff Sergeant Eric, Army Infantry, described his first deployment. We lived in plywood huts on a small combat outpost near Kandahar. We get mortared almost every week. One time an IED went off under a Humvee in our convoy. We lost 2 guys. You never forget those days. Combat is not Call of Duty. It is confusing, loud, chaotic, and terrifying. Even support roles like cooks, medics, or clerks in war zones are exposed to indirect fire, attacks, and the psychological tension of danger. Are you prepared for that reality? 4. The toll on mental health. Military life is physically tough, but mentally it's even tougher. Long separation from family, rigid discipline, exposure to trauma, lack of privacy, constant change of duty stations. Petty Officer First Class Jasmine, Navy corpsman, shared, I saw Marines come back from patrols with body parts missing. As their corpsman, I had to keep my emotions locked away to treat them. When I got home, I started having nightmares. I didn't even realize it was PTSD until months later. Veteran suicide rates remain higher than civilian rates. Some bottle up trauma to avoid looking weak. Even though the military offers mental health services, stigma remains, especially in combat arms units. 5. Injuries and physical wear. Your body is your main weapon system, but constant ruck marches with 60 to 80 pounds loads, PT, and harsh training environments wear it down. Corporal Smith, USMC Infantry, recalled, My knees are wrecked from humps, marches. With 80 pounds plus my M240, I'm only 28 and I already need surgery. I used to be proud of pushing through the pain. Now I wish I'd told the corpsman earlier. Hearing loss from constant gunfire, tinnitus, back and knee problems are common. Some injuries follow you long after discharge, making civilian work difficult. The VA healthcare system tries to help, but delays are real. 6. Military culture and discipline. The military is built on rank, customs, and courtesies. Orders are orders. If you disrespect rank or fail standards, expect punishment. Extra duty, pay cuts, even discharge under UCMJ. Fraternization rules prohibit relationships between ranks. Alcohol culture is widespread, especially in isolated duty stations or post-deployment. Barracks life means inspections, strict visitor rules, and chain of command oversight over your private life. Private First Class Nguyen, Army, said, "You never get used to room inspections. They'll flip your bed, dump your drawers out, yell about dust on your locker hinge. Some guys crack under it. I just kept my room spotless to avoid stress." 7. Financial reality. You will get paid, but as an E1 or E2, don't expect riches. After deductions, many live paycheck to paycheck, especially if supporting families off base. However, the GI Bill for college is real. If you manage your money wisely, avoid debt traps near bases, and save, you can set yourself up financially for post-service life. Sergeant Lopez, Army National Guard, shared, "I use my GI Bill to pay for my engineering degree after active duty. That's the best decision I made. The military taught me discipline to grind through college with a purpose." 8. Camaraderie and brotherhood. Here's the part that no civilian job can replicate. Despite all the hardships, you will forge unbreakable bonds with those you serve beside. "My best friends are the guys I went to Afghanistan with," said Sergeant First Class Thompson. "We still check in every week. We trust each other more than anyone else. That's what I miss the most. That brotherhood and sisterhood is real. When you train, sweat, suffer, and sometimes bleed together, that loyalty runs deeper than blood." 9. You serve the nation, not yourself. The military does not exist to pay for your college or build your resume. Those are benefits, not the mission. The mission is simple: to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You are trained to kill if necessary. You may be called to deploy on short notice. You may have to leave your family behind for months. It is a commitment that transcends your own goals. 10. Final questions before you enlist. Before signing your life away for the next 4 to 6 years, ask yourself, am I ready to give up personal freedom and live under strict discipline? Can I handle being away from family for long periods? Am I prepared for potential combat and its psychological impact? Do I fully understand my MOS and its duties? Am I joining to serve my country or just escape my current life? Will I regret not pursuing civilian education or work first? If you answer yes to all with clarity and conviction, then you may be ready. But if you hesitate, take time to reflect. The military is not for everyone, and that's okay. So before you meet your recruiter, before you sign that contract, before you raise your right hand, watch this video again. Reflect deeply on what you want your life to stand for. Because when you wear that uniform, you are representing your country with your actions, discipline, and life. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more honest career insights. Drop your questions below. I respond to every comment. Stay strong, stay informed,